Hello and welcome back. This is part 2, and in this part we are going to add the pieces to the board. But before we go on, I need to do a few small changes here. So the ranks was going from 8 to 1 from this array, and this is going from A to H. But I would like this, because I'm using it only in the files, I want to put this function here and just say that this is I plus 1, so that the files also go from 1 to 8. And here I would just add this, and here I would say plus 96. And so here when I'm getting the class name, I would do this so that this I goes back from 1 to 8 and the J is always from 1 to 8 as well. And I should reverse this like so. So if we go back here and refresh, we could see that everything is the same. But this change will help us later on. Okay, now it's time to add the pieces. I went to the chess.com website, this one, and grabbed these pieces from the game and saved them, of course with their approval. You can go and grab the pieces and use them as well, but remember two things: that the images should be in a square shape to fit the tiles that we have here, and the other thing is that it's best if they are transparent, so an SVG or PNG would do the work for you. Okay, so let's go to the project here. Here I will add a folder called assets, and I will add these to the project like so. How do we want to show the pieces? If we go to this website, we will see that there is a initial position like this. So a white rook will always be on space A1 and H1, or for black it's A8 or H8. But to keep the things simple for us, we would go from 0 to 7 here and 0 to 7 here. And the other thing is that if we add the pieces to these tiles, so if we add them as a background or as an image here, if we want to drag them, the image and the background will move all together, so it will mess up the tile system that we have. So it's better to have a separate layer above these tiles, the same size of these tiles, which will include all the pieces. I would have a 2D array from 0 and 0 up to 7 and 7, which is here, and we'll add the piece that should go there. So let's go to the code and see how it goes. So here in the components, I will add a pieces folder, and here I will have a pieces.js and a pieces.css for now. And this file will of course have CSS file added to it. Is like this for now. So to begin with, I will have a position. We will change that, but for now, to start, this is an array of 8 items that are filled with nothing, and then I would map each and every one of those items to a new array. So let's say X, which is a new array, 8 again. not 9 but 8, and fill them with nothing. So in the end I will have a 8 by 8 grid system of empty string here. So if I lock my position here, and of course add the pieces to the board.js here, because it shall go above the tiles. So I would say pieces like so. You would see that I will get a 8 by 8 array starting from 0 to 7, and each of them are an empty string. This specific slot is this slot that we have here, and this one represents this space that we have here. So this is important to remember. So let's go and add that as a test for now. I would say that position of 0 0 is a white rook, and I'm using this terminology here, WR, as the name of the files that I have here. So this is white rook, white queen, white pawn, and so on. So this way I can refer from the string that I have here to the file that I have here. Okay, I could have like a bunch of these. So this is white rook, and let's say 7 and 7 is a black rook for now. This should be enough. And I of course need to return something. So I would return a div of the class name of pieces, and this div will get the position, and it will map it first to let's say R and rank, because the R is not important for us, but the index here is important. So let's say R and rank, and we just map the R again to, let's say, yes, F and file, like so. And the thing that this returns is if the position on the rank and file is not empty, we would say this, otherwise we would return null. Makes sense? So let's go and see. We would get WR and BR and a bunch of null between them. So we need to place this here on top of this and then position everything. So we need to go to the pieces.css, and here in the pieces.css this should be absolute on top of the tiles system. Left is 0, right is 0, top is 0, and bottom is 0 as well. And let's give it a background of 0.5 to see where it ends. Yeah, it covers this part as well, so the left and bottom should be like 25 pixels to the left and top. So let's go and say this should be 0.25. Calculate 0.25 times the var of tile size that we had. The same shall go for bottom as well, and yes, it's in the right place. Okay, so far so good. Now I can remove the background as well. Now I need to, for each and every piece, instead of just rendering a text, then render a piece, so to say. So I would say this should render a piece with a bunch of things. the rank that the piece is on, the file that the piece is on, and the piece itself. So whether it's a white rook, black rook, black king, or whatever, we need to have a key as well, so to keep the React happy. And the key can be rank plus this plus file, and this should be enough. Now it's not happy about the piece, so let's go and say we have a piece that will live right here, like so. We need to create that file. So, and I need to close this piece here, like so. So everyone is happy now. And let's go to the piece part. So this should be pretty easy to do because we are just sending these values and rendering these values in the piece, but basically for now. And it should be just a class name that will be returned, and the rest is on the shoulders of CSS. So let's go and see what I mean. So I would say the piece receives three things, these three things that are important to us. It should render just a div with a class name of what shall be the class name. So it should have the name piece, of course. Then it should be given the piece that it is, for example black rook, white rook, or whatever, and then these rank and file values. But I cannot say in the CSS like 58, this is not a correct CSS rule. I need to have something before that. I cannot start a class with just a name. So I will add a p dot and then the rank and the file, and basically this should be like so. And in the end I will get, for example, piece and then black rook and then p-00 or p-77. And to keep it nice and easy, I will do this and then put it here and this, and of course I need to export it. And this should be now enough for the piece to begin. Okay, let's go and see what we are having for now. We have a piece, we have a white rook and a black rook. This part is okay. And on the pieces, at we have the piece WR at P00, piece BR at P77, which is correct. Now I need to write the CSS for these ones. So let's go to the pieces. Each and every piece should be like 100 by 100, but since it is a position absolute here, I would use the percentage and it should be fine. So I would say 100 divided by 8 is 12.5%. The same is for the height, and like so. And we shall say that the position is absolute as well. Okay, let's go here now. And as you can see, we have two pieces that both of them are here on top of each other. Nice. So now let's add the images to the pieces. So I would say that a piece that is a black king, So let's do it in one line. The bg image is the URL of assets, and let's say Blackrook. This is Blackrook, and if we go here, and we could see our Blackrook here. So while here, let's say that this is background size of 100%, and it's here on its place. But the thing is, if we add a white rook here as well, they will be on top of each other. And while we have the white rook and then the black rook, this will cover this one. So I need to use these ones as well. But before, let me finish this one. So I need to have like I believe 16 black king, black queen, rook, bishop, knight, and pawn. Don't want these, and these can be copied over here like so, and these shall be white, and I have all of them here. So if I go to the pieces and add a bunch of them, the position doesn't matter for now because we are not using it. So for example, white knight, white queen, and white bishop, they will be all on top of each other. As you can see, there is a white bishop and the white knight that is popping underneath the rook here. Okay, the next part is just position them on the pieces. So this one is at the correct one. This one shall be moved from here like 100 pixels to the right. The piece that is here is here plus 200 to the right. This is 300 and 400, and you can see what I mean. So I would say in the pieces.css, I would say that the piece at P7, P07 shall be transformed, translated like 0% and 0% like so, which is this one. The one on the 17, which is this one, shall be like 100 and 0%. So if I go here and say that this one is 17, you can see that it ends up here. So we are doing it correct. We need a bunch of these. And this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, 6, and 7. This is really can be done easily with the STSS preprocessor, but I don't want to, add just the plugin for just a few lines of CSS. So I'll do it manually. So I need to do it a bunch of times. So for that you don't get bored, I will speed up the video. Yes, as you can see, we have everything in place now. So if I go here and say white rook is on 0, 0, and another white rook is on rank 0 and 7, this is another white rook, and the black rooks are on 7, 7, and 7, 0. I made a mistake. So let's go and see. So we are getting rank and files. This is correct. Let's go to the piece.css. So for example here it is 0% and 700, which is correct, and here we need to do it in the other way around, like so. Now this is correct. Now the only thing we need to do is to add the pieces in their original positions instead of just doing like this. So I would say, and this will go to its own place, so it's just temporary for now. Say from 0 until less than 8, we would have a position of let's say 1, and this should be white pound, so I mean this position, rank 1, and all of these positions. So if I save this, I will see all my pawns, and this should be like 6 and and black pawns, like so. Awesome. And the rest of them is just a bunch of repetitive things. So 0 is white rook, and I will speed this up. Yes, now we have our position. To make them movable, we need to add the draggable, so let's say true here, and they will be movable, but you can see that there is another pawn that stays behind here, and if I release them, they will not stay on the place, and they move on top of each other, and other problems that we have. So they are not highlighting the positions that the knight can go. So for pawn, these two shall be highlighted, and so these are the things that we are going to solve in the next videos. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.